Hello and welcome back to Feed the Beast Ultimate for Minecraft version 1.4.7. Now, last time around I got these magical wands of ultimate power, which is fantastic. I'm now the greatest wizard to ever live. Amazing. But while I was on the way of unlocking these, I actually discovered, well, I should say, rather than unlocking the wands, I wanted to unlock the theory of everything and make the most powerful wand that I possibly could. Which I did. It was very simple. This one here, the Wand of the Thaumaturge. Excellent. Well done, me. But there's more that I unlocked, and one of the first things I did was this basic flux research. Now, there's ways to control how much I release into the atmosphere, be it essentia, or if you want to call it chemicals, if essentia offends your modern proclivities. But using flux filters, I can make arcane alembics and place them on my cauldron as a way of mitigating the flux, because last time my flux had risen to, it doesn't actually keep it, but my flux had risen last time around to high. It has dropped back down to moderate now because the aura in the atmosphere has sort of dissipated it now, and it's recovering slightly. But there's a certain point where it won't be able to recover, and I want to prevent that for as long as possible, and so using these arcane alembics, I can keep my home safe, hopefully. So let's work on that. So the flux filters, they take purus and premutatio. Now I've collected all the materials that I will need here, so we'll snag this, and we can look at this. So we need silverwood log, gold ingots, purus, and pure mutatio. So we can place this in here, like so. And then we can grab these and toss them in, so we now have all of that. That is going to be a big mess, but then all I need is the Wand of the Thaumaturge, like so, and I can pull out the flux filters. And then it's just a matter of the other ingredients. So I need gold, warded jars, and brewing stands. Now, warded jars are the next thing. So I mentioned essentia. Warded jars can actually store that. They also make an excellent storage medium for jams, which is fantastic. So we need glass panes and arcane wood. So this is the next step here, glass panes and arcane wood. And all arcane wood is, if I remember correctly, is just great wood logs, like so. Yes. So I can place 2 there, and then surround this with glass panes, and there we go. We get these warded jars. Now, I probably will make more of these in future, because, for one thing, they look great, but they also serve a functional purpose. So we'll break this for now, though, so I can pick it up. And then we need the gold and the brewing stand, so we'll grab this, and these as well. And then we can place the brewing stand, the warded jars, and the gold as well. And if I remember the crafting recipe, no, I messed it up. It is like so, and then with flux filters. And then we need aura, which I have from the feathers, vitreous from here, and aqua from there, so we could just toss out my feet. Ow, I burnt myself. So we'll just toss these in there. Once again, destroy the atmosphere, but there's nothing much I could do about that. And there we go. We now have the arcane alembics, which are pretty great. So what I can do is attach them like so. And these look kind of garish, but also kind of cool. I mean, it's not like I'm not afraid of the color yellow, I guess, or gold, maybe, would be best described as. But these, whenever I toss in something, so I guess I could demonstrate it maybe, but whenever I toss in something like this, it will retain elements that would otherwise be dispersed into the atmosphere. So rather than going out, they get stored here. And then in order to pick them up, what you can use are essentia vials. Now we'll see if these are documented in here. If not, glass vials. So what you need is glass and clay. These are pretty cheap. You get a lot of them out of it. So every one of those vials can hold 8 of whatever element is in here. So whenever I make anything in future, I should be able to store the essentia. Expecto Patronum! That's not even the right spell, is it? Oh, God. Well, I don't know how much precisely these arcane alembics can hold, but we'll get some practice and figure that out, because I'm going to start making these advanced iron golem guardians. So, in order to do that, we need quite a lot of essence, but first, these golem animation cores, and to do that we need night ore. So we'll toss in a coal and a torch. Excuse me, I'm like really Sorry, I'm really breathless. I was having sex with your mom. But yeah, so we can see that these have a lot of essence in them. And so when I right click here, we make the night ore, and you can see that the stone and the herba has gone into these arcane alembics, which is exactly what we want. But with these glass vials, I don't think you can pull out anything less than 8. Yes, that's correct. So you have to have at least 8 of an essence in order to use it. So at a certain point, these won't be too useful, depending on how many essences an item has. Like, leather has all of this, and naturally, some of it will escape. But it does help prevent a little bit. Either way, in order to make it so that we have to, in order to make it so that we can fill these up, we have to make more sets of items. That way, these will all have sets of 8. So doing that, I made 4 night ore in total, and I managed to make enough in order so that this wouldn't overflow. Now, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm really breathing hard, getting the mad gains. But this herba here, I can't do anything with, and because I'm not making any more night ore, I already made extra that I didn't need just to try and salvage some here. So because of that, this has no purpose, and so I can put it back in here, and just send it into the atmosphere, which is unfortunate because it's going to cause flux. But I did prevent some, so then we can store this in here. And whenever I need one of these elements, which I don't know how common that will be, I can then distill it back into the cauldron. So I can toss this into the cauldron here and turn them back into their respective elements. Okay, I'm gonna take a second to breathe and hopefully recover, because gosh, my skull crushers are killing me. Ooh, all right, okay. I can breathe again. I don't know what was going on there, but not fun. Either way, let's first make a wooden golem, because that is the... Oh, hang on, I need actually the golem animation cores. What am I thinking? So first of all, we will put 2 sets of bricks in here, like so and like so, with the night ore. And then all we need is Imperdo and Motus. So can come here and toss the rubber bars in there. These are the most perfect ingredients ever for getting those. And then I could put the Wand of the Thaumaturge in and recover my golem animation cores. Now, before anything else, I do want one of these to become a golem animation core of intelligence, so that I can have some big brain boys. So we'll toss in paper. There we go. And now you can see we're going to have some more elements into the atmosphere, but we recover this, the golem animation core of intelligence. So we'll snag this, and then you can see that these have gone into their respective containers. I can take my glass vials again and take out the aqua and the messis. Man, these names kind of cool, but also really whack. Okay, so onto the thaumaturge, and naturally some of these will have to be ejected into the atmosphere, as unfortunate as that is. But now we can actually make the wood golem, which is the most basic variety that I need. So we'll toss in a golem animation core along with our soul sand and our wheat. There we go. That's a lot of essence. So this is what I mean by a case where there's too much in here, so it won't matter how many alembics I have. At max, you can have 4 around here, but I'm only using 2 anyhow, so I will only ever stop, however many here. So at least 8 of something will be in the atmosphere, regardless of my choice in the matter. So there we are, though. We have our wood golem worker. Fantastic. And then we can see that the chains have come with us. What is this? The vinculum and solum. Great. Very cool. So we now have our wood golem worker. Next, we're going to make the actual advanced guardian, which interestingly enough isn't any more complicated here, but does require some more essences. So we will toss in the soul sand, the wheat, the leather, and the arrows, which is, geez, that's a lot of, of materials in there, but that's fine. Then we can toss in the wand and get our iron golem guardian, which is fantastic. And eject a lot into the atmosphere. You could see our flux is now very high, but there's nothing much I could do about that. And then we now have our essences in there. Now I will also store the glass vials, And now we have the materials that I need. Now I'm going to drop the niter off, and then I can show you what I'm going to actually use this iron golem and wood golem for. So I'm now back down in my ancient grove, where my friend Brutus sits patiently. Ow, damn, you're angry, aren't you, little punk? If I had a way to heal you back up, I would tase you right now, but I guess you can just give me a high five or whatever. But we now also have this guy trapped in here, because I don't want the golem I'm about to make to try and attack him, so you will be safe in there, trapped in your small little box. It's kind of a sad space for you, considering you're like an ancient primordial being, but, you know, I don't give two shits, you're my slave now. Anyhow, so what I will first do is put down my wood golem worker here, so that he will try and recover everything. Now, where are you going, boss? That is unacceptable. Okay, I need some fences so that I can stop him from trying to run out the gates. Alright, we got some fences. Let's get rid of these fence gates, so... Oh, seriously? It's gonna make that hard for me? That's so cool. God, I love using this wand. It's like the best thing ever. Okay, so, there we go. This should hopefully stop anything weird happening. We'll do that, just to guarantee that no one can get out. I think this should be safe now. Okay, so we place down our wood golem guardian. He will be our eternal watchful eye here. And then finally, we place down our iron golem guardian. Now, this guy's fantastic, and the reason for that is that the intelligence core allows you to assign what animals you want it to attack. So if I tick this, and this, and this, in this configuration, I can make it so that he will try to attack animals. So then, when I place, let's grab my cow shard, because I care about them the most, in here. Ah, there we go. And then the Iron Golem Guardian will kill the cows, and my Wood Golem Guardian will pick up the supplies that are dropped. So this will be an almost never-ending process that I can just leave running, which is very amusing to watch, actually, this little dude running around. He is somewhat terrifying. There's a strange intelligence in them lizard eyes of his, robo eyes, I guess you should say. But yeah, it's pretty great. So now I have infinite food and leather. Now, of course, I wish that I could make this faster. I probably can. So at some point, I probably would like to have two Golem Guardians in here so that I could have everything running at once. Maybe even 3 Guardians, and then just having this farm run at all times. The reason that I didn't make a second of these Iron Golems, because the last time around I did talk about making an improvement to my XP farm, and the reason that I didn't make a second one to do that is because, as you can see, these little Iron Golems don't actually drop experience from mobs. However, I believe that there may be a way around that, so I'm going to go work on that and pray that I get what I need. Now, the solution I have in mind actually involves more Thaumcraft research, however, not in the standard format, so ignore all of this down here. But what it involves are these knowledge fragments. These knowledge fragments have the capacity to create new research for me to unlock. So when I look at this, ooh, it's spooky, but if I put it in here, what I will try is putting some cognito in there, and then we can see if this will unlock what I'm looking for, because using these knowledge fragments, you can create new research that you otherwise didn't have. So we'll put this in here and see if we can get what I'm looking for. Tiny fezzes. Yes, excellent. This is vastly easier than most of the research because it's just small things. But we put this in here, and now, because of what I've done, I can create tiny fezzes. Now, this is perhaps the most powerful research any thaumaturge can discover. Let's read. The texts you have studied speak of miniature clothing and accessories that can be used to improve animated servants. One of these is a small fez. So now, we have this. Tiny fezzes are cool too. And all it takes is red wool and string. And it says, this strange headgear seems to fill any golem wearing it with unusual vitality, allowing it to repair damage at a much faster pace. Now that is absolutely spectacular. So naturally, I have to make one, right? So we have red wool and string. So what we do is we put in the red wool, like so, and the 3 string, and then we can toss in the 4 wheat that we need. There we are, we now have that. And with the wand in here, we can now recover our accessory, fez. Now this is spectacular for a number of reasons. First and foremost, that it actually just looks great. And so I will demonstrate that in a moment, but first, let's recover this so that we don't destroy the environment anymore. Look at me being so urban, not urban, being all green and friendly to the environment. Isn't that right, you? Ow, damn, feet. Now, oh Christ, there's a demon. Oh, that's the wrong one. Be gone from this realm! God, I'm such a good wizard. Okay. So, now, I forgot what I was doing because that creeper gave me such an opportunity for fun. This allows me to show off something I worked on a little bit in between episodes, which is this, a bookshelf. So I've collected some of these, the Twilight Forest and the 2 ruins that I found that were in the Nether, and I moved them so that I could travel in between worlds a little easier. But I'll drop down to our little man here, because this is the only person I have so far who might be in any sign of danger. So when he gets a little closer, I'll give him a little fez as reward, and he can... Ow! Stop it! So yeah, now my little golem worker has a fez, and he looks great. It's very loud here. But yeah, so he's the only person I have currently who's any sign of danger, because he's constantly around these mobs. So that headgear should hopefully keep him safe so that he doesn't ever die. But yeah, so my goal is to collect these accessories for my golems, and I believe that one of them is capable of allowing the golems to drop XP orbs. Now, unfortunately, these knowledge fragments are very rare. Like, you can see, like, from all my travels, I only have, you know, you need 9 of them per thing, and I only have 8 here. So I need a way to discover these readily and more availably. And so in order to do that, I have a plan, but I'm going to leave it for next time around, because it involves more of this. Ooh, spooky, mysterious. However, in the meantime, there is one other thing I want to work on, which is this infernal furnace and these arcane bellows, which I discovered in between episodes. Now, the infernal furnace is just an awesome construct, which allows you to use the heat of a blaze, supposedly, to build like a 3x3 block that just smelts things automatically without any using of fuel. Before I do that, I did make one more research, which is this hungry chest. There we go, hungry chest. You think you might be able to imbue a chest with some self-awareness and animation. A chest that could fill itself might prove useful. Gosh, this place has become a mob farm. It does give me the opportunity to use that wand, though, which is honestly the best thing ever in this game, so can't really complain. Okay, we will put now our 7 arcane wood in here with the trapdoor. And then all we need is all of these. So we will toss in the soul sand, the... Oh, I just realized that there's going to be more elements in here than... Crud, I may have just screwed myself, actually, by putting more soul sand in there than I needed. In my efforts to be clean, I've destroyed the environment. But whatever. Oh great, it really gave me that in the worst combination possible. Now I'm gonna destroy the environment even more. Well, shucks. That's not what I wanted at all. But there's nothing much I can do about it. Okay, so we come over here, and what we want to do is we want to leave a space on either side because of something we'll be making in the future. But for now, let's look at this. So it's a set of 5, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As well as nether brick on either side, and then we need nether brick and obsidian again, so we go like so, and then like this. Then to finish it off, we need an iron bar and a little bit of lava. So we put the iron bar there and drop the lava in, and then to make it, we just use our wand on this, like so. And it creates the most terrifying demon thing ever, but it's super cool. So, the way this furnace works is unlike anything I've ever seen. It is the most spectacular thing. Also, this bat is going to drive me nuts. Where'd you go, you little... Begone! Rats of the sky. So, in order for this thing to work, we need to supply it with something to cook. And the way you do that is really interesting compared to most other things in this game, because most things in this game you just like, oh, you know, right click and it does it, blah blah blah. This, no, not at all. This is far more interesting because it forces you to actually interact with the world rather than just an inventory screen. So we come up here with some raw beef, And what you do is you toss in a raw beef like so into the top, and then over time, it will cook that raw beef and then eject it from the front of itself. And there you go, with like a little spewing of fire. Now, the way you can make this even better is we put the hungry chest down right in front of it. So we toss in another set of raw beef like so. And then once that cooks, you can watch the magic happen. Look at that. It's so cool. Okay, so what you do is you just toss, whenever you throw things next to the hungry chest, it makes like a munching sound, which is awesome. So this is now my new method of storage, of smelting, where you toss in items in the top and they pour them out the bottom. However, the infernal furnace does note this. Some flux happens whenever you smelt things with it. So because my flux is already high, that's worthy of note. However, the arcane bellows, they perform the same function as the mundane counterpart, you know, if you know what a bellows is, because that's a common term nowadays. However, they pump by themselves. There's vigorous banging. Attaching it to an element into an infernal furnace will make it cook faster, but also reduce the amount of flux it generates. That is awesome, because as you saw there, it takes a little bit of time for it to cook. However, I can attach 3 of these arcane alembic things, or whatever they're called, the bellows, I should say, to the 3 sides of this, and then they will continuously pump and make this thing work much faster and also reduce the flux it produces. So let's get these. So all I need is arcane wood, leather, and air shards, which I've already gathered because I'm a good and prepared lad who wants things done properly. So there we go. We've got all of this. Then we can come back here, and then we can make it. So what we need is a set of 3 of these on every side. If I can remember it. Yeah. Leather, then air shard, and iron. And then what you need is feathers and rubber bars. Oh gosh, this is a lot of material I'm trying to dump in here. Oh no. Okay. This and this. Good lord, I'm glad I have these arcane alembics to at least preserve some of the atmosphere, because this is going to destroy it. Oh, did I not have enough? That's not ideal. I'm not actually quite sure what happened there. I was reviewing what I had, and I had 24 rubber bars. That should be more than enough. 8 times 3 is 24. I'm not sure how that messed up. I think there might be a little bit of a glitch there, actually. Because it's not like I ran out of V in my wand. I mean, it only cost 50 and I have 1,000, so either way, we'll toss this in there. I probably shouldn't have tossed in all 3 of the materials, but either way, we can now make our final set of arcane bellows, and then we still have... Oh, sweet, we can't actually salvage it. Now with these arcane bellows, we can attach them to either side of the furnace. Now, this also produces XP. I forgot to mention. I also just forgot it, so that's why I forgot to mention it. But we attach an arcane bellow there, and you can see it attaches, which is awesome. So we can stoke the flames of our invention. Now, I wish I had a block or something I could put down here to make this a little easier. I might be able to go like so. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now toss in raw beef, and you can see it's much quicker, I think. Yeah, there you go. So I'll just toss in a stack of this raw beef, and it will give me experience as it cooks. So look at that. Oh, amazing. This is the coolest thing ever. Now, it does also take some of the aura from the atmosphere when it smelts, because it has to rely on some form of magical energy, I think. But it doesn't cost any fuel. And this is awesome. Just look at this. This is the coolest thing. I say that every time I play this game, but just the amount of magic in the world is truly worthy of being joyous about. There you go. I think that's pretty much all I had planned. So, yeah. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Feed the Beast. We now have not wood. Gosh, I am having a stroke trying to record this episode. We now have advanced iron golem workers who are, killing animals downstairs that I can instantly cook in my demon-powered hell furnace from the deep, which is a terrifying construct. So, let me know your thoughts. And if you liked it, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all that jazz. Either way, I'm done here.